By raise of hands, how many of you think you have tried one of the most popular drugs in America? Okay, actually, most of you should have your hands raised, if not all of you. Caffeine is consumed by 90% of Americans daily, and more than half of Americans consume over 300 milligrams of caffeine per day. This makes it one of the most popular drugs in America. Today, I'm going to try to persuade you to drink a healthy amount of caffeine. This is relevant to you because as college students, we all typically have to stay up late and we have a heavy workload, and then we tend to fall back on caffeine to keep us awake to get through the night. I have credibility to talk about this topic because I myself drink a lot of coffee, and I have also experienced some minor heart issues because I've drank so much caffeine. And also, I've done an ample amount of research since preparing for this speech. So as college students, it's important to understand the problems with consuming too much caffeine, the causes of consuming too much caffeine, and some possible solutions or alternative ways to gain energy without consuming caffeine. So first, let's discuss the problems with consuming too much caffeine. There are two problems with consuming too much caffeine. The first problem is that drinking an excessive amount of caffeine, whether it be in form of coffee, energy drinks, too much chocolate, or anything else that has caffeine in it, it can cause health issues. In the Philadelphia Tribune in 2012, it shares with us that drinking too much caffeine can lead to insomnia, anxiety, depression, irregular heartbeat, stomach ulcers, and a number of other things. I myself have experienced the irregular heartbeat from drinking too much caffeine. 1 cup of coffee has 8 ounces in it, and in that cup of coffee there are 100 milligrams of caffeine. The health issues previously stated, insomnia, anxiety, depression, irregular heartbeat, and stomach ulcers, usually occur if you are consuming 650 milligrams of caffeine or more per day. That's equivalent to about 7 to 8 cups of coffee, The second problem with consuming too much caffeine is that it could possibly lead to a physical dependence on the drug. In the Philadelphia Tribune in 2012, it states that if you are consuming 350 milligrams of caffeine per day or more, you could develop a physical dependence on caffeine just like you would any other drug like smoking or marijuana or anything like that. 350 milligrams of caffeine is about 4 to 5 cups of coffee per day. And again, that can lead to a physical dependence on it as a drug. Like other drugs, if you suddenly stop consuming caffeine, you will experience withdrawal symptoms such as headache, migraine, stress, anxiety, issues with sleeping, things such as that. So you can see that it's very similar to other drugs in that sense. Now that I've discussed the problems with consuming too much caffeine, let's talk about some of the causes with consuming too much caffeine. There are 2 possible causes in drinking an excessive amount of caffeine. The first cause is consumption of caffeine, simple as that. In the Philadelphia Tribune in 2012, it shares that 90% of Americans do drink caffeine per day, and more than half of them consume 300 milligrams or more per day. In the UK Times in 2008, they did a research study on younger people and their habits with drinking caffeine. They found in this study that younger people are starting to drink caffeine starting at an earlier age. The issue with this is that younger people cannot build up a tolerance when they're so young. Most people don't start drinking coffee or caffeinated drinks such as that until they're older. But since younger people are starting this at a younger age with the stress of college and everything, their tolerance is not able to withhold all the issues with caffeine. The second possible cause to drinking too much caffeine is that people are not aware of the effects that caffeine can have on them. A research study in the Los Angeles Times in 2007 shows that because caffeine is so addictive like a drug, people are not aware of how much caffeine they are drinking, and therefore they are not aware to the effects that it is having on them. In the same article, they also found when they asked people believe that they are mentally sharper when they drink lots of caffeine, and they also think that their reflexes are faster. But this research article actually proved them wrong. When you drink lots of caffeine, you are not mentally sharper, your mind moves slower, and your reflexes are slower as well. So now that we've looked at the causes of drinking too much caffeine, let's look at some possible solutions or alternative ways to gain energy. There are 2 possible solutions to possibly solve this issue or to give you energy in another way besides caffeine. The first is to increase your water intake daily. In the Daily Monitor in 2009, it shares that if you drink 8 glasses, or you should be drinking 8 glasses of water per day or more to boost your metabolism and energy. And I will remind you that drinking 8 glasses is the minimum amount per day. So if you really want to boost your energy, you should drinking between more like 10 and 12 glasses of water. In the same article, it also gave a helpful tip for gaining more energy. In the morning when you wake up, it could be really helpful to drink a room temperature glass of water. Now, the reason it's room temperature and not cold water is that cold water will boost your metabolism and give you more energy, but it's going to do it at a more rapid pace, and so your energy will spike, but then you'll crash a lot quicker. By drinking the room temperature water, it gradually increases your metabolism, and it'll give you longer lasting energy throughout the day. In the Philadelphia Tribune in 2010, it also shares that if you're dehydrated, you're going to be more fatigued or sleepy. In the same article, it also shares that water can alleviate symptoms of withdrawal. So as I previously stated, if you stop drinking caffeine, or you choose to after today, and you can drink more water, you'll alleviate your symptoms of withdrawal. The second solution is to increase your daily physical activity. In the Medical Daily in 2014, it shares that you can gain energy by going on a brisk walk or doing any other aerobic activity for that matter. When engaging in physical activity, your body releases stress hormones, and this gives you more energy. A study in the Medical Daily in the same article also shared that more active people are less fatigued than inactive people. In the Huffington Post in 2013, they examined a research study that was done by the University of Michigan. In this research study, they found another form of lower physical activity that you can engage in is pressing your pressure points to gain more energy. They found that there are 5 pressure points that you can press, and you hold them for 3 minutes, and this is to help you feel less fatigued or gain more energy. I will go through those 5 pressure points. So the first pressure point is on top of your head, and if you press it for 3 minutes, it helps to lessen your fatigue or give you a little bit more energy. The second one is between your thumb and index finger. The third one is below the kneecap. The fourth one is below the ball of your foot. And the last one is probably one of the more popular ones, which is at the base of your neck. So by doing any of those pressure points for 3 minutes or a little bit longer, you can get a little bit more energy or lessen your fatigue. Also, in Everyday Health in 2009, they said that increasing your physical activity daily can give you better heart health and sharper focus. These were 2 issues that we discussed before that drinking too much caffeine could cause, so you can see that increasing your daily physical activity can help with solving those. So in conclusion, today I have talked about the problems with drinking too much caffeine, the causes of those problems, and some possible solutions or alternative ways to gain energy without caffeine. So I'll ask again, how many of you think you've tried one of the most popular drugs in America? You, myself, and 90% of other Americans would all answer the same.